Scott is a creative genius earning her living doing what she loves. Fuck yes. She's an artist, facilitator, and coach, and it's her firm belief that art and creative self-expression is not a luxury, but in fact a human need. Moyra hosts art retreats, runs workshops, and is the creator of a process called wild art journaling. As a coach and creative, Moyra has worked extensively with organizations from Reuters, King's College London, and the United Nations. Welcome to the stage, the gorgeous Moyra Scott.
Hello. Oh, good start. Well, if you're wondering, or in case if you're wondering why I'm clinging onto this canvas with an imaginary brush in my hand, it's because this is my happy place. In front of a canvas is where I feel comfortable, and everyone else disappears, and I'm just there with the paint, and it's delicious and beautiful, and this wonderful, expansive, creative, liberating, and yet belonging and connecting feeling, and I really, really love it. This, on the other hand, me standing on a stage with a bunch of people out there, quite frankly, it's like flinging myself out of a plane at 20,000 feet. It's uncharted, terrifying, and quite frankly, you're my worst nightmare. I know that for some people, when I talk about painting and creative flow and this delicious feeling, there's plenty of people are going, oh, actually, yeah, let me at it. I really, really want to paint, like to dive into a sea on a clear blue day when it's sun shining and it's really hot. And for some people, stepping up to the blank canvas is like an open chasm into the jaws of hell. When I'm teaching or running a workshop, I often share a quote, and I can't remember who it's by, sorry, but it goes like this. As you step up to the canvas, you bring a whole room of people with you. And as you paint, one by one, they begin to leave the room. And if you're really lucky, you go with them. Now, it's not literally a room full of people, not like here, like a room full of people, but they're in your head, right? There's a bunch of people in your head as you step up to the canvas, and that might be your friends, your family, it might be your partner, it might be your art teacher when you were 12, it might be that art tutor and that crit, it might be earlier than that, it might be way back in time at primary school when someone said something that made you put down your pens, your brushes, and decide that art is not for you. The point is, with that room of people that you step up to the canvas with, is that even if you like them, even if they're people you admire, what they're going to say to you is generally not very nice. They're not going to be, yay, you go, anything you do is going to be brilliant. They're not going to be saying things like that. They're going to be saying horrible things. So as you paint, one by one, they leave the room. And if you're really lucky, that worst critic of all, that's you, will also go with them. So, hello, I'm Moyra Scott. Apparently I'm a creative genius. I'm an artist and a coach, and the thing is, I didn't always used to be doing this. Some time back, I had a career in film and television, actually, not on the creative side, behind the scenes, in production, organising things. And I did actually really like it. It was interesting. I worked in factual television, so making documentaries, really interesting. And I really enjoyed it. But on becoming a mother, I discovered that film and television is an incredibly unchild-friendly business. So I left so I could actually spend time with my son, and found myself in Brighton, a stay-at-home mother, babe in arms. And during that time, sorry, baby arms there. It's like when you're a mum, you don't really have your arms, right? You just have to carry things the whole time. Anyway, I found myself stay-at-home mother, and I began to dream of painting. Like, not little paintings, felt like I just dropped in there. Not little paintings. Not little paintings, but like big ones, like wall size, like really massive abstract paintings. And I began to really want to do that. It's not something I'd ever done before. And so I sought out, like, how can I do that? And I found that there were these things called art retreats, and I really, really wanted to go. I wanted to go so much that I got a brochure for one. I found a picture of one of the tutors painting like this on the floor. I want to paint like that, this kind of painting, not this kind of, this. And anyway, cut it out, put it on my wall, but they were all in America, and I had a baby, and no money, because I'd given up my job, and it just wasn't happening. Anyway, skip forward 3 years. My son is now 3.5. He's finally sleeping through the night. And I discovered, that's important, I discovered that Flora Bowley, who was that tutor, was coming to Yorkshire. And that's a bit nearer. He's sleeping through the night. I can leave him. And I had to go. It was absolutely imperative that I went to this art retreat. And so I still didn't have the money, to be honest, but I paid the deposit anyway. And as it happened, the next day, the money appeared. I say it appeared. There was a job I hadn't got. It was 4 days' work, this random freelance job I had, and they didn't give it to me. The next morning after I paid the deposit, they rang up and said, please come and do it. So the right amount of money showed up, and I went. And I'm so glad I did. It really was life-changing for me. 3 days just painting. It was like plugging into the life force. And it was like I didn't know how thirsty I was. And I just sucked it in like this. Like filling up on this sort of life art juice stuff that I can't really explain, but was really, really magical. And the effect it had on me was that I completely felt full up and shiny. I felt shiny. It's like glowing with it. And the other thing that happened was the very next day, I landed myself a new career. I met somebody who was looking to employ somebody. I was looking for work, part-time work at that time, and it just came out of my mouth. It's like, hire me. What is it? You can train me. Anyway, that's how I became a coach, which I still do to this day, and I absolutely love that too. So, what I wanted to come and talk to you today was about there's two kinds of magic, and I'd love you to experience them. One is, I will show my canvas now. Oops. One is in the creative flow, or in that feeling of where everything else disappears. It's just such a magical place to be, and whatever it is for you, go find it and spend time there. And then the other one is outside of your comfort zone. We're talking earlier, is stepping outside of your comfort zone, because I know that for some people, stepping up to the canvas can be terrifying. And yet, it is definitely still possible to find that creative flow. And that's all I'm doing in my workshops, is getting people to that point where they've forgotten about everything else, and they're just immersed in the process of it, and it's beautiful. So thank you very much. My name's Moyra Scott. I think there is a thing. There it is. So take a picture of that or follow that QR code. That's my mailing list. If you're interested in coming and painting with me, even if you haven't picked up a paintbrush for years, then honestly, there's some magic waiting there for you. Thank you.